which also means it means a lot of changes, but those changes are always positive, so they're always updating, adding things. And this is particular situation. This is the presentation mode, which they have created. And I'll demonstrate how it works. This is just my normal Evernote note. We go up into the right corner. And then puts it into presentation mode. The benefits of presentation mode are you can take simple notes and create a presentation very quickly. It rolls out fairly quickly as a presentation. You can also change the colors. Of course, you can change your pointer to a different color if you so desire. All part of the Evernote presentation mode, which I will be in. So, rather than me giving you an overview of Evernote, I'm going to play a 49-second video by Evernote, which will provide the overview in a much better way than I could.
Hi, welcome to Evernote. Evernote is a way to capture all your experiences and access them from anywhere. Type a note, store documents, record audio, capture a photograph, or any other moment you want to remember. Evernote saves and synchronizes your digital life across all your devices. No matter where you are, Evernote is with you. Use it to stay more organized. Plan your next trip. Design and manage your project. Clear your paper clutter. Capture a moment and always find what you need. Life is full of experiences, and Evernote helps you capture, manage, and remember them all.
All right, so let's go over what Evernote is, and so everybody kind of understands the concept of Evernote. Evernote is a cloud storage, much like Dropbox, but different than Dropbox. It allows you to work with the particular documents that you create notes out of. As a cloud computing, it allows you to store everything on your laptop, of course your Mac, your iPad, your iPhone, your Droid. You have access to your notes on all those devices with your one Evernote account. If, for example, you do not have any of your devices, your iPad, your Mac, your PC, your phone, you can always go to a web-based computer and go to evernote.com and access your notes from there. When you add to a note, it updates, syncs to all your accounts. So if I update a note on my iPad, then I go to my iPhone and check out that note, I will have the updated note on my iPhone. As long as you have Wi-Fi. Yes?
As you update it, will it update ones you shared already with your students?
It will, and we're going to go over that. When you share, no, but that's a very good question. So if you share a link, okay, which you can share a link through Evernote. When you share a link with your students on Edmodo, which is how I do it, and if I add to that Edmodo, add to that Evernote link, when they go back to that link, they'll have the updated note every time.
Does it notify them that you've updated it?
It does not. That's one thing it does not do. Let's talk about your data safety and security. A lot of people are definitely concerned about the security of Evernote. Your data is safe and secure. They have many different servers across the nation. So if San Francisco, where Evernote is located, blows up, don't worry, your information is stored safely and secure at another server also. So your data is safe with them. The other issue that comes up is intellectual property and privacy. All your Evernote notes are your notes. They do not go through your notes. So your intellectual property is safe on Evernote. And And those are 2 issues that people concern themselves with Evernote. So let's talk about what Evernote can do, and then we'll demonstrate a few of these things. Evernote allows you to create notes and organize those notes for research. It also allows you to put web page clips, and I'll demonstrate. Clean those clips up and then store those notes, those web page clips, onto Evernote. It also allows you to create task and to-do lists. You can also put snapshots, photographs. You can put photos of whiteboards, something that students like to do. You can also capture audio, which we have done in the classroom also, where people, especially in foreign languages, use audio capture in Evernote. And then you can also print and handwritten text. All can be stored in Evernote. The benefit of Evernote in dealing with this is, of course, you can give it titles and tags, which make it easy to access. The other things to consider is, and I'll demonstrate when we create a note, is when you create an Evernote note, it doesn't matter what file format is placed into that note. So you can have a note that has a WAV file, a JPEG, a PDF, Word file, and a PowerPoint, all in the same note. What this means for teachers especially is that if you have a unit which has a PowerPoint, an outline, and a PDF document that they have to read also, you can put all that in the same note and distribute that link to your students, and they have access to all those things and all those variety of file formats, instead of emailing them each file format separately, or creating an email and then attaching all these file formats. So, getting an account, all accounts, of course, are free. They have a free account and they have a premium account. With the premium account, there are a few differences. Of course, larger storage space and the search options and the share options. With the premium account, if you have a premium account, when you do a search for a word, it will allow the search to go into your PDF files and all your other files, which is very beneficial. If you have the free account, it will just do the type text that you've created. The other difference is the share portion. If you have a premium account, you can share notebooks with people, and then you can, if they share notebooks with you, you can collaborate on those notebooks together. If you're using a free account, you will not be able to collaborate on those notebooks. You won't be able to change anything in those notes. Now, to be quite honest with you, I love Evernote, I really do, but the collaboration piece is not as user-friendly as a Google Drive is. I mean, I just looking at Google Drive and how they collaborate on Google Drive, I think that's the way to go. If you do a lot of collaboration in the classroom, that is the way to go. Not
With a free account, can you share with your students?
Yes. You
You
can share
just
with,
can't do the
you
collaboration.
just can't do the
You
collaboration.
can't arrange them in a notebook to share as a notebook.
You can share the notebook, but that's all you can do.
But it's read-only.
Yes, read only.
Which is probably good because you don't want them changing it all up.
Yeah, I mean, for collaborative, but if you have some collaborative atmosphere, like a group of teachers, a team of teachers, I just think Google Drive's a better way to go. I mean, I love Evernote, but it's just not the type of place that I would go with that.
And I imagine you can teach your kids not to mess with the.
Yeah. But definitely, they won't be able to change anything because they'll all have free accounts on their iPad.
Okay.
So, just like with Dropbox, I know if I just do a quick poll, how many people have a Dropbox account? Like everybody does, typically. But not everybody maximizes Dropbox, and the reason why they don't maximize Dropbox is that they don't install Dropbox on all their devices. And just like that, Evernote needs to be installed on all your devices in order to maximize its potential, so you can sync all your notes. So make sure that you install Evernote on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, Android. Make sure it's installed on all those do not just access it through the web. It's just not maximized that way. In order to sync your notes properly, it's much better to have it on all of your devices. So please do that. So let's make a note, and I'll demonstrate some of the different things that we can do to the note and make some additions to a note. So we're going to create a note. Now my presentation mode. Well, before we create a note, let's talk about structure. One of the benefits of Evernote is that it allows you to create notebooks and notebook stacks in order to put your notes into. Now, depending on whether you're looking at the iPad or the PC version or the Mac version, it looks different, but it's the same structure. This is the file structure that I have for my Mac. It's a bit excessive, of course, but I have a lot of notes, and I organize a lot. These, if you see FA Administration, FA Teaching, Personal Notebook, PhD Research Work, those are what we call notebook stacks. Within the notebook stacks, you can put your notebooks. I have like FA Calendar, Curriculum, this is Leadership, this is for my teaching, you have chess, AP Psychology. Those are notebooks within a notebook stack. And then within each notebook, like we'll go back to iPad conferences. Within each notebook, you have your notes. And these are all the notes in that particular notebook on iPad conferences. Now, the benefit of Evernote in this structure is you're able to kind of see very quickly, you get a very quick view of the notes. So you kind of have an understanding what your notes are by the view. And going back to the notebooks. Also on the left, you see where it has the latest notes, the most recent notes. So if you've typed a note up recently, you can go to that note very quickly. It's on the left, and you can see there's Evernote as a tool. Test demo. Those are all those that I've recently typed up. In the top right is the search function, which allows you to search all your notes. So if I type in any particular key term, it will search all of my notes that I have and bring up all those notes in that search. And then you'll have those on the left, and you'll be able to see what's going on. Example. You can also, if you take a look, you can also search everything, or you can just kind of qualify your search just to a particular notebook. We'll do non-cognitive. This is an example of a search. I did non-cognitive objectives. And you can see how it picks out the key word in all the notes. And then these on the left here are all the different notes that have non-cognitives in. I can scroll through and find out which one it is that I'm looking for.
How did you create stacks?
There's an option under that allows you to create a new notebook stack. When you put two notebooks together, it allows you to title a notebook stack. So take one notebook and add another, and then it says, okay, this apparently you're adding two notebooks together to create a notebook stack.
This is like you dragging one on top of the other?
That's right.
You did it on the iPad or just on the?
Just on the Mac, yeah. And that's something you're going to have to get used to with this particular format. Is the iPad is really good. I like the iPad app, but it's a little more limited in what it does.
Will those stacks show up on here in some way, or will it just look like your?
No, I'll show you exactly what it looks like on the iPad in a minute here. So if I wanted to go through the basic stuff. So that's the basic parameters. So what we're going to do now is create a note. Go back to iPad conferences and get rid of this note. Okay, so I'm going to create a test demo. Typically, depending on what title you title a note, if you title a note and it has certain key terms that keep popping up, what it will display down here on the bottom is notes that may be related to that note. So that's a pretty good feature too, because then you say, oh, I remember I did that note back then. So we're going to demonstrate a few of the things that you can add to a note. The first thing that has been very productive in the classroom is audio. So it allows you to record an audio file. The benefit of recording the audio file, especially on your iPad, is it doesn't take up space on your iPad because it's cloud computing. It's going to update to the cloud. It will not leave that file on your iPad. So you can create an audio file in the iPad. This is an example of it. You can create as long as you want. I had a parent and a teacher need to do a meeting, and they had an hour and a half long meeting. The teacher actually used an iPhone with Evernote to record the whole meeting on their iPhone with Evernote.
Is that only in the paid version?
No, that's not the last I heard. Okay. The next thing that you can add is pictures. We're going to do a picture of me, pictures of that. Then you can add PDFs. I don't think it's changed since I know. Yeah.
Well, if you're using
You can add PDFs. I'll demonstrate. Okay, good one. So now I've added an audio file, a picture file, and a PDF file, all in the same note. In addition, you can add just Word files, PowerPoint files. So I can put this Word file in here too. And then you can add keynotes, you can add PowerPoint presentations. Put my PowerPoint in here. All examples of things that you can put into a note. Impressive. The benefit of having all the things into one note is, again, you don't have to attach all those to email. You can just distribute that through a link, or you can put it on the internet, through Emoto. There's a variety of ways you can distribute this note. The note has all of these things on it, though. It has the WAV file, it has the picture file, it has the PDF, it has the PowerPoint, it has the Word file. So all that can be on one particular note. You don't have to go through and find everything individually. You can put it all in one note. Give you a demonstration of how I use it in the classroom. Still teach AP European history. So this is a project. And this is just an example. I would distribute this note to my class, which includes a picture, a card, a document down below, and also a rubric link. Anytime I update this note, they would have the updated note. Let's go back and talk about distribution. Some of the benefits of Evernote, or the way it distributes the notes. There are several ways that you can distribute the note. You can email the note directly to somebody. It will search your contact list, put all those contacts in, so you type in their name, then their contact will come up. That wasn't an option 8 months ago. That was a new option that they had. It's very beneficial. When you email them a copy of the note, the note will also send you a copy. So you have confirmation. The drawback of emailing people notes from Evernote is you have no record of sending them the note from Evernote. For example, hasn't everybody sent an email and said, did I send somebody that email? And then go back in their send. You can't do that in Evernote because it's sending from their server. The only record you have of it is the copy of the note that comes into your mailbox. So I think for more official and professional purposes, I wouldn't distribute things through Evernote like that. You can also copy a shared URL to the clipboard, which is what I'm going to do right now. Of course, a URL is the creation of a website. It synchronizes it and creates the URL. I go to this is the note on the web. So I've distributed the URL and I've just posted it online. The benefit for students in this particular situation is in the top right corner. They click Save to Evernote, and they can save that note to their own Evernote account. And then they can edit that note for their own at that point, because it becomes their note. Yes?
So if I'm understanding you correctly, once they save it to their Evernote, if you make changes, it does not update?
It does not update it, no. I mean, for some purposes, that's fine. What I've done in my classroom is like we have an outline for lecture notes. So I send them the outline on Evernote. They take that outline, save it to their Evernote account, and then when we're doing the notes in the class, they're typing up notes and creating their own Evernote note out of that outline. They're adding to it.
Okay.
Now, if I made any changes to this note, though, and they went back to that link after I did the sync on my Evernote account, they would have the updated note. They would have the updated note. Yes, sir?
But they're two different, they become two different notebooks then.
That's right. If they save it to their Evernote account, yeah.
So it does have the same URL? No, it's not.
It does have the same URL. It can continue to that same thing. Yeah, after I sync it. It also allows you to share that from that URL. Using Edmodo, I've used Evernote quite a bit in order to distribute assignments and have them return assignments to me. They'll send the URL to me. Yes?
You know, I've done that with they send me Evernotes. But how do you annotate over that in Evernote? Can you do that or no?
Not in Edmodo, but just recently, and we'll get to it, but just recently,
Sorry.
Evernote added a way to create PDF annotations within Evernote itself, which is just something they added a few weeks ago. I'm not quite got it yet, but I will. All right, the next thing I'll do is show you how Clearly works. This is an example of how Clearly works. Now, Evernote Clearly is a way to take it's just like some other programs that do Clearly, that clear off things. So I want my students to read this article. In addition, I want to be able to keep this article in my Evernote account so I can distribute it again, because I don't know that. I mean, all of you have saved web links over the years and have lists of web links in many different places. It's very confusing, but I really just want the article. So what I can do is use Clearly. Now, Clearly is something that works with the PC and the Mac. In the top right corner, you see the little light. I click it. It cleans everything up. It also, once it's synced to my Evernote account, will find other articles in my Evernote account that match this article or are related to this article. Which you can see it's already found that matches because I've already added this article to my Evernote account. But it will find articles or keywords and terms like that. Then I click the clipper. And now that article is clipped to my Evernote account with the URL citing where I got that article from. I'll go back to my Evernote account, do a quick sync to make sure we get it in. There it is. Now I have the sync note in my Evernote account. It actually tells me the date that I have made the sync. So when did I get the article? When did I find out the article? Another benefit is it allows you to make highlights on the article. Like that. You can't see it so well here. But if you make the highlights to the article, it will highlight the article in your Evernote account as well.
Can you do this on the iPad version?
No, sorry. The other thing that we'll do, and this is, for some students, this might be good. Takes a second.
The Danish Doctor of Dread by Gordon Marino Anxiety. We worry. A gallery of contributors count the ways. The way we negotiate anxiety plays no small part in shaping our lives and character. And yet, historically speaking, the lovers of wisdom, the philosophers, have all but repressed.
And so it reads text-to-speech.
Does it only do that in English, or can you do that for foreign language?
Only in English at this point.
Which button did you push to have it read?
Down,
Okay.
play. It's taking a little bit. All right.
And yet, historically speaking,
All right. So that is clearly with Clipper. You can also do the web clipper by itself by just clicking this. And what the web clicker by itself will do is try to, it figures out what article you want and then clips it, basically like a newspaper clipping. And then syncs it to your Evernote account again. So it's very quick to get stuff, put it into your Evernote account and save it. I usually use Clearly and Clipper at the same time. I don't, once they put the Clearly on there, it seems to work.
So those are two different apps that you downloaded?
And there are two different apps. So you have Clearly, Evernote Clearly, and Evernote Web Clipper. And they're add-ons for the PC and the Mac.
Can you just search for those in the App Store?
Actually, I think you can get those at the website, at the Evernote website. But with the Clipper, you have some better markup tools. Again, highlighting, writing, text, and cropping. They've added some things.
So would this be where you would pull a student's work in and annotate on it and then send it back to them?
You
Do
could,
that?
yeah, that's a possibility. But it's not the other possibility. And I mean, Evernote has the ability to create a PDF from it. So we'll go through that since you're interested. So what Evernote's added recently is a PDF editor in Evernote itself, which allows you to take any Evernote note and make it into a PDF. But what it does is you have your Evernote note, and then it creates another note and says this will be the Evernote note PDF. So it makes a PDF. So you have the duplicate note. So you always have the original note. This allows you to do the markups that you want. And then when you're done, click, close it, and it has created two notes. So when you're talking about your students, they could turn in the Evernote note to you. You could save it to your Evernote account, you could put it to your Evernote account, then you can annotate it, and it has the original note, and then the annotated version that you can send back to them. I'm not sure if that's the best workflow pattern though, but that is one workflow pattern. I think that's something that everybody's been trying to solve in the past 3 years with iPads, is how to get the workflow as easy as possible without, without extra steps. So that might be worth trying, see if it works.
I seem to really like Evernote, but I can't annotate and send it back to Evernote.
Well, it does, and it allows you to say, then you can copy the URL to the clipboard and send, or email them a copy of the annotated version.
I wonder if you copy it into the notes on Edmodo, when you attach your
Let's find out.
comment or whatever, and then that way they can pull it up.
They're attached to another.
When you grade it, you have that opportunity to give them feedback, to type back to them. I wonder if they'll let you put it in there.
All right, let's see. There you go. That, I guess you can. I don't know about workflow, whether that's that seems a viable option, for sure. All right, let's go back. Distracted enough. I don't mind it at all. All right. So we showed you a note, how to create a note, add an audio file, add PDF, add pictures. We've talked about sharing. You can, of course, share through email, Facebook, Twitter, URL sharing. You can also share a notebook. Other sources of information. On the presentation that I sent you, I provided some links for other sources of information. Take a look at those if you can. They're worthwhile. A good thing about Evernote is that it does change very often. Okay, so that means that Evernote's always improving itself. The problem is that when you pick up the book Evernote for Dummies, it's probably out of date by the time you pick it up. The one I have is a year old. Now I'm going to, since I've shown you those sources of information, I'm going to demonstrate a few things on Evernote on the iPad. As I get working again. There we go. You see, iPad's a lot different. You can already see where it's already did the sync with my Evernote account. With the Mac, you have to click sync to have it sync. It'll sync when it opens up and when it closes, but it will not do it automatically. On the PC version, it will sync automatically. As soon as you change something, it will sync. You can see it provides a list of notes. And this is the basic structure of it. It provides you all your notebooks and notes. It just looks different in comparison to the Mac or PC version. It really does. So we'll go to the notebooks. This is a list of all 101 notebooks that I have. Seems excessive, but trust me, it's not. And then you go into the notebook, and then you have a list of the notes. Just like before, you have the note. The difference is that you do not have to see, like with the PDF and the note on the Mac, you'll see the whole PDF. Here on the iPad, because it wants to preserve space, you have to tap to download the actual PDF file. Okay, that's just to conserve space. Allows you to go to full screen. Make changes to it. All you have to do is type, tap the screen, and you can type. Like with Evernote, it allows you to make small formatting changes, bullets, numbers. I think everyone kind of knows that you can do that. Type what you want. If you want to do footnotes and stuff like that, then you need another document. You need to go to Word. Evernote is a basic editor. Basic. So if you do want to do complex documents, then that's something for a Word document. Again, like with Evernote, on the Mac, you have ways to share. You can iMessage it, tweet it, mail it, or you can AirDrop it. You can also add attachments, audio files, again, just like the Mac. It just looks differently on the iPad. All those things are available. You can also search your notes, just like the Mac. Again, looks different, but it's the same functions. Another function that we didn't talk about earlier is adding a reminder. You can create a note and add a reminder for that note, and it will email you that note and reminder at a given time, whenever you want. So that's a little bit different than the Mac. And go back to the Evernote.
Can you take a note from one notebook and put it in another notebook?
Yeah, actually, I was going to go over the small stuff now. So we looked at the larger stuff, do a quick review of the small stuff. So, just like on the iPad, you have basic editing functions, and they are basic. If you want something complex, you need to go somewhere else. Like it does have a basic chart. I mean, it's not as user-friendly as, say, in a Word document. So, but that's okay, because that's not what you're looking for. You're just looking for some place to put a note, and that's the point of it. So you can do some things there. You were asking about what can you do with the note. Now, with the note, you can actually make a copy of the note, and you can put it in another notebook. Or, of course, you can move the note anywhere in your Evernote account. So, if you have a note that you use several times over, you say, this is a note, I need another copy over here in this notebook, you can actually make a copy and put it in that notebook. Just by going, and there's my copy. And that's the same way on the iPad. Any questions about Evernote and workflow associated with Evernote? If there's many different ways that you can use this. It's a very individualistic type tool. I would suggest working with it and seeing what works for you. lots of students create notebooks and they organize it into notebooks, and then I have some students that just put it all in one big Evernote account and just search through it. And it looks disastrous to me, but it works for them, you know. So, but I do think that for students and teachers, it's a good way to get organized about your stuff. I've started to go into what I do with my classes. In my classes, I create units and put notes into particular units. You know, it's just a great way to be organized about things. And having it all in one place, I think has been very beneficial for me. And being able to put PDF files, pictures, documents, all in one spot is really helpful. Rather than just on my Dropbox account where I can't really see what those documents are very well and they get lost very quickly. So I'm ready to have questions. You're welcome to stay. This is the end of my presentation. That's it. Thank you very much.